Greetings everyone, welcome aboard. My name is Joseph James. It's Thursday morning, February 10th, 2011. Here's your live stream recap. We had a little bit of a challenging day today in the room, didn't we guys? Woke up this morning. We were expecting possibly some people sitting on hands waiting for that news event today at 2 o'clock. If you recall yesterday, we talked about we had Bernanke at 10 o'clock yesterday, and we knew we had people that would probably be waiting around to see what the budget, what the Fed's budget statement looked like at 2 o'clock today. And that was, well, I think that was pretty much on everyone's mind this morning. Very slow day today. Apparently, I was right. Apparently, people were waiting for that 2 o'clock announcement this afternoon. Came out within range, and of course, they said today here, 28 straight months, that's 2 years and 1 month, of a negative deficit, month over month here on the budget. And of course, it came out today at 2 o'clock. So we had a lot of waiting to do today. We spent most of the morning waiting around, waiting for the market to start moving. Gold was slow and sluggish. Crude was slow and sluggish. We managed to get some pretty good trades taken today, but boy, it was a challenge. Now, today was one of those days where we kind of have to sit back and appreciate everything else we do, because a day like today was so challenging. We saw speed pick up and speed drops. We see price rise and price comes back down. The big buyers get us in and the big sellers tell us to get out, Just have to go right back up. It was a roller coaster ride, a very slow roller coaster ride, all morning long. Now again, we did get some pretty opportunities to trade, but this morning was a great example of how I'm really thankful for every other day we have, because guys, I'll gladly trade through a tough day like today, I know it's not very much fun sometimes when the market's not moving very well for you, and we did our best today. But I really can't complain, I mean, we've had some fantastic days this month. We seem to have about 99% of the time we do really great. We got great price action. It's these 1 or 2 days out of the month, I would take one of these a week. We still make such great money doing this, guys. You got to trade through days like today. Now, today was a great learning environment, We really got a chance to see how nasty this market can really get, So if you took notes today with us, if you followed along this morning with us, guys, you learned a lot today. Now, we still made some pretty good money. Our members made some great money today in the fast track. I think we saw a bunch of fast track winners today. 8 to 10 trades, about 70% winners this morning, guys. So you're making a little bit of money today, back and forth here trading gold and crude. It was a challenging day across the board. Now, my mom always told me when I was a kid. I remember this because my mom, of course, we always have these things remember when we were kids, I remember my mom saying, never let a mistake get by without learning from it, Never let a mistake get by you without learning from that mistake. I made a couple mistakes this morning that I learned from. Now, today's a good example of a day where you don't want to let today get by without learning something from it. Okay, so go back through your notes. If you recorded the market, do your market replay. What happened today? We saw lots of buyers and sellers getting us into trades, and then they disappeared, which made it very difficult to hold on to those trades. Well, of course, once that happened, then we started losing confidence in our entries, Now we're looking for double confirmation. And then we stop trading and our emotions play in. All right, guys? So we start forcing trades. Then we have to remember, nope, follow the rules. So today was a great example of how we got started but then stopped, got started and stopped, Speed is rising and falling, buyers and sellers back and forth, a great environment to learn. Now, again, we did take some good trades today, guys. We sold the lows on gold with a wave pattern. We had the wave, sideways on gold today, broke new lows on gold. We then sold a retracement, Gold then reversed back up, and we bought a pullback as it reversed back up. All right, guys, so gold, we did have a couple trades on gold today. We bought the breakout long on crude oil. We also saw crude trading sideways early this morning when crude broke out to the upside, two-step pattern long. We then broke new highs, and I bought a pullback on crude. We took a stop on crude today too, made a mistake on crude this morning after the news event at 10 o'clock, Nat gas, we had news events wholesale at 10 o'clock this morning. We had wholesale trade at 10 o'clock this morning. I traded right into the highs at 10 o'clock on crude this morning, took a big stop on that. Very sloppy at 10 o'clock this morning. So I did take a couple losses today. We'll look at those in a second. And then we had some news out of Egypt this morning, late in the morning. I finished my day this morning listening to the news chatter today out of Egypt. And of course, they were talking about how later on today they have an announcement, the leader of Egypt will be stepping down most likely. Well, when we heard this come out, we thought to ourselves, let's see what happens at 11:30. Let's see if the European close brings any volume into the gold, the euro, or the crude. It did a little bit, We got an end of the day nice big winner on the gold late in the morning, 11:30, but we didn't really get much out of it. We were waiting for it though, but didn't get much out of it. So a lot of waiting today. We took a bunch of trades. Let's see how we did. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So as you can see, guys, 16 trades today. That's a lot for me, right? That's a lot for only making 200, right? 202 ticks. 16 trades. I want to be up around those 300 ticks for today. Now, why did that happen? Well, as you can see here, right? Look at how just scattered this is, right? Usually we're going to see some losses early or some losses late. We had 2 losses right in the middle of the day today. That's a little bit odd for us, right? Usually we see losses early and losses late. So that's a little bit different. And you can see, right, couple big winners, scratch, loss. Couple big winners, scratch, loss, right? Couple big winners, scratch, loss. So you can see here, the price action was up and down today. So were our results, right? We had a hard time seeing consistency. Just when we thought we had that perfect pattern setting up, the entry triggers, we get in, and then nothing, right? Those buyers that got me into the trade, right, they took off for lunch. And of course left me hanging here for a scratch or for a stop, right? Or for a +5, -5. As you can see at 10 o'clock there, right? 10 o'clock, 10:07, 10:10. I took a bunch of swings at that 10 o'clock just after news came out. And you can see it got all chopped up because of it. So back and forth, lack of consistency. Boy, it had us at one point today, if you guys recall, at one point today, I caught myself saying, I'm looking for a wave long or a wave short on crude, right? That doesn't make any sense. And when I said that, I said, well, wait, guys, this is not where we want to be right now, right? The market was back and forth. And all of a sudden we realized we had no idea who controlled price, right? The buyers come in, think they're in control, not so fast. Sellers come down, right? They bring it back down. So when you find yourself, right, looking at a day like today, guys, just be patient. Wait for those perfect patterns set up. Don't force trades, guys, and don't be afraid to sit in those hands and wait for the next one. Over 200 ticks today, though, as you can see, that takes 2 losses into account. We had 2 losses there, guys, and we still made our 200 ticks today, over 2,000 bucks. That means we're up 20 grand now for the month. We did 12,000 for the month for the first week in February. We've done 7,700 now for the second week in February, and of course we're just shy of 20,000 for the month, and we've now made over $50,000 for the year so far, guys. And that's only 2 months so far. Not even 2 months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, right? Not even 2 months yet. We get 50,000 bucks on only 4 contracts. All right, guys. We'll keep you guys posted the rest of the month of February. Let's take a look at my dollar. Now my dollar this morning looked very similar to yesterday. Again, this is becoming a very similar chart for us here. We're trading sideways here, right at these highs. So dollar here at these highs right now, we're trading sideways. I've got my channel, and then of course my trend line here from yesterday, and you can see here we are tucked right in here, guys. Now the dollar this morning, if you guys recall, right, dollar very flat for a while. Then the dollar broke out, right? Pulled back, came back down, and went sideways again. So we did get a little bit of a move up on the dollar. When the dollar broke up, we were selling short. When the dollar came back off those highs, we were buying late in the morning. All right, guys, so the dollar this morning gave us a heads up right away. Dollar says, be careful. We're right at the highs, and we're going sideways here. The biggest thing this morning, though, was we were seeing real slow speed. I mean, the speed was rock bottom slow. And so when we see slow speed, the pace of tape indicator measures the speed. When I see the speed really slow like that, I know that everything's going to be higher risk for me today. So that was the original heads up. The dollar being sideways was just the icing on top, right? The speed was very slow, slow dollar. We waited for 8:30 news. 8:30 news didn't bring much volume in either. So we waited until 9:15. After 9 o'clock, we started getting some volume, and then we began taking trades this morning. Now here's my crude. Now you can see here, boy, look at crude, right? Now no wonder crude had a hard time getting started this morning. Look at this thing on crude. We have a wedge pattern, right? There's your wedge on the crude. Now, of course, our first trade on crude today was a breaker pattern long, or a 2-step pattern long.